Good afternoon, welcome to our video review of the new MSI GX660R. This is the 060 version. Finally MSI has come out with a model. It actually has a 1080p screen, or a FHD screen as it's more well known. This is a 15.6 inch. We'll just kind of take a quick look at it here as we kind of make our way around. You'll notice it's pretty stylish without going overboard. You kind of get an idea here. This front portion here is actually kind of a gray or a dark gray. Get a look at the touchpad here, which is pretty nice. This is a rocker touchpad there. You've got a little bit of red around the speakers and just kind of the top area there. Around the back panel, it's kind of a faint black with a little bit of silver sparkle to it. There are lights on the side, the middle, and the other side here. This particular model is stock with comes with an i7 740QM, so it is updated processor wise. We do have the HD 5870 from a graphics card standpoint, which is probably one of the better ones out there for the money. Certainly about the second best performing graphics card without going to the 480M. You get the 6 gigs of DDR3 memory, which is nice. One of the sticks, though, as you'll find out here as we get a little more in depth with the insides, is hidden on the back side of the motherboard, though, so it might disappoint some of you looking to do the upgrade. It does have dual 320 gig hard drives. They do come stock in RAID 0. That is, you can turn that off, but that is the only RAID setting that it offers. There's no RAID 1. They're Western Digital Scorpio black drives. Okay, next thing we're going to go over here is some of the top panelings here and some of the customizable buttons. One of the things that we'll note that you're seeing here is the Dynaudio brand on the speakers, which is something that MSI has really touted lately as something that's important. Traditionally, it's probably, you can guess, no computer manufacturer, builder, or reseller has ever been really too impressed with speakers. This happens to be the opposite of that. This is probably the best, if not one of the best for sure, speaker systems we've ever heard inside of a laptop. During testing, we actually had to turn it down because it actually got loud enough to the point where you needed to do that. There's bass that's, I guess, low frequency that you can actually hear coming out of the subwoofer, as well as highs just sparkle, mids sound good, dialogue in the Blu-ray movies that we played on this. It's just sounded clean and audible, definitely, which is unique. I guess I did forget to mention this machine does have a Blu-ray drive as well, which adds to another portion of the features to the laptop itself. Okay, we're going to go over some of the hotkeys here on the front of the MSI. From kind of left to right here, we have this P1 button. That's just a programmable hotkey button. You can program that to equal whatever you want. This turbo button here does actually, as you can see, turbo on. Does actually overclock the CPU. We were just kind of messing around with overclocking on it and running Vantage on it. It does boost the Vantage score by about 100. It got us anywhere from about maybe 100 to 150 extra megahertz out of the processor. This is actually pretty cool. This is what MSI is calling their cooler boost. But in a second here, once it kicks on, the fan, I mean, you'll hear it. The fan really gets going, which obviously you can hear maybe. I think it gets even louder than this. Now it's really going. Oh yeah, jet plane. But obviously equals cooler. Now the last Vantage run that I did had a max temp of 68 Celsius without the cooling fan on. So I'd say that temps on this are overall pretty darn good. Now this next button here is it turns off the Windows startup key, which as a gamer, if any of you have ever pressed this button by mistake, as you can see, turns it off. That's all it does. Oops, sorry guys. Next little guy here. This is our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Eco button just kicks it down into a battery save mode. And then this guy here on the end turns on our fancy lights on the back, side, and front, and we'll go over that here a little bit later. On the front here, we've got a couple other little icons that, you know, of course, this lets us know Bluetooth is on there from the left. Then Wi-Fi lets us know we're on battery. This one here is just a sleep mode. Basically, when it's on, it lets you know the computer's on. When it blinks, it lets you know the computer is sleeping. When it's off, the computer's off. And then hard drive activity there. This is a rocking mouse touchpad click. This is multi-touch. It's pretty standard for what's coming out on most of the new computers. Keyboard overall, some people are annoyed by this. We get this question every now and then. They do highlight the W, S, A, and D keys with a little up, down, left, right arrows. Like, you guys didn't know that, but they do that. The keyboard itself is nice to type on. It is chiclet style. It does have a little bit of flex in the middle, but even when I was typing on it really hard, it didn't bother me too much. There are some other laptops out there that really did. This one, just a little bit of flex, but other than that, it was pretty good. Okay, next we're going to go over and go through some of the ports on the laptop here. We're going to start on the right-hand side and make our way back around to the left. Starting on the right here, this is an express card slot. It is a 34/54 slot. We've got the first of our 4 USB ports. Next, we've got just a memory card slot there. Pretty notably, 2 USB 3.0s, which is unique. This will be the first laptop on the market that actually has that feature. At least this series is the first. We've got 2 vents for our fan, which, as you heard earlier, is quite a robust fan, producing incredible temperatures on this laptop. An HDMI port there. We've got eSATA, VGA, standard Ethernet, and power. And we'll swing over here. This is a Blu-ray drive, comes standard on this laptop. At XoticPC, you can downgrade that to just a standard drive if you want to save yourself a little bit of money. You've also got another USB here. We've got an SPDIF port for digital output. We've got a standard line out for analog line out output, which some of you audio enthusiasts will appreciate going to amps and such. We've also got headphone out as well as a microphone there on the pink one. Okay, next thing we're going to go ahead and talk about here is a screen. If there was going to be one thing I'm pretty critical about is screens, and on this one I'm not going to really give them a whole lot of slack. It is the one thing that I think they probably could have improved upon a little bit. Viewing angles are pretty fair to poor. Straight on, the screen looks good. It's bright. Blacks are good. The colors look nice. But at pretty much any angle other than directly on, the screen really doesn't perform very well. You get most of your washout probably at about 30 degrees, I would say, from off-axis viewing, which in comparison to some of the other better screens we've seen, have been more to a 45 to maybe 50 degree angle before they start washing out. So this one was a little disappointment. Screen manufacturers, we can see here on this one, I don't know if you can actually see it, it is manufactured by AUO, which is the 15ED is the brand, or the model number, excuse me, if you were curious as to who MSI used for your screen. ODM.